was happy to still be able to wear the uniform. I was grateful for it. I thank God for it to this day.
YouTube, man, what's going on, man? What the Jerry back with another video, and today I got my boy Zaid with me. You can go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Good morning, y'all. It's nice to be on here with my boy. My name is Judah. I'm a fellow active duty Marine, serving with my boy Jerry here. You know what I mean? I just wanted to talk to y'all. I'm happy to be on the show, and thank you for this opportunity, man.
No problem. All right, so today we're gonna be talking about a plethora of things. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get an insight on life in the Marines, some mental health things that you would want to know about, pros and cons of being an active duty Marine, things of that nature, bro. And it's kind of hard for a person in general to like get on here and be comfortable about or talk about the things that they have been through. With saying, my boy right here, he's an active duty Marine, but he has also been in JP. So talking about things like this, bro, it just has to take some sort of courage for you to actually want to get on here and give some insight and give people, you know what I mean, like things and knowledge on how to bounce back from stuff like that. So with the first question, bro, why did you choose to join the Marines, bro?
Well, I had it was a combination of different things. For one thing, there were a couple of things that I was trying to run away from. You know, there were a lot of insecurities at play at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't have the best time in high school. There were times that I got bullied and picked on and things like that.
That's true.
But in addition to that, I was scared to go to college. I was running away from college. I also had a very rebellious mindset. Both of my parents, they were telling me, no, go to college. And because, you know, I've always had this issue with authority where if people tell me to do something, I'm going to say, fuck that, I'm going to do the opposite. So when they told me go to college, I said, fuck that, I'm going to join the Marine Corps. And then in addition to that, I wanted to be like my dad, you know what I mean? And I also wanted to prove, you know, that I could do something that I didn't know that I could do, you know what I mean? I grew up overweight, you know, I grew up not being the most athletic kid. And, you know, I didn't want to be that 10-year-old who was chubby and things like that no more. I wanted to become the strongest version of myself, you know what I mean?
All right, so with this next question, bro, do you think that the Marine Corps has benefited you more than it has hurt you?
I think that it's been a solid 50-50. I'm going to start off by talking about how it benefited me. For one thing, it showed me that I was able to do things that I was never able to do before. But my time in the Marine Corps has been a time for personal development and personal reflection. I've learned a lot of things about myself that I never knew before.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I've learned that there's things that I could do, things that I couldn't do, and I'm still in the process of getting to know myself. Right. You know what I mean? During my time in here, I feel like I've grown a lot as a person. And I feel like I've been different people, you know what I mean? There was a part of me that wanted to hold on to what I had going on back home, you know, hold on to street shit, all the fights and stuff that I used to get into. But then, in addition to that, there was the part of me that was striving to be a good Marine but didn't know how to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Let me stop you there, bro. My bad, bro.
It's all
good. But the thing is, bro, like, every day you wake up, it's a battle, bro, between, you know what I'm saying, your fleshly desires and your spiritual desires, bro. So either you choose, you know what I'm saying, to partake in your flesh, do the things that the flesh wants you to do, which is like eating the wrong foods, talking to the wrong people, hanging out with the wrong crowd, or doing the things that your spirit wants you to do, which is reading the Bible, going to the gym, you know what I'm saying, gaining knowledge, stuff like that. So it's kind of like I just said, every day, bro, you have to choose the correct path. You can either go down this path or you can go down that path, bro.
And those paths have brick walls. You either go one way or you go on the other. And if you're going down one path and you want to go on the other path, you're going to have to work your way all the way back, start over, and then go down that right path.
Yeah, bro, it's sacrifices, bro.
So in terms of the negative things, you know, I will say one of the biggest things for me was my mental health. There have been many occasions where I've gotten depressed in here. You know what I mean? I've witnessed some things. I know people who have taken their lives, and that had an effect on our unit,
Yep.
and you know, it had an effect on me as a person. Also, a big thing that I really struggled with was loneliness and isolation. You know what I mean? Being in a platoon full of people, but feeling lonely and isolated.
Yep.
And you know, and I've had a lot of negative things happen to me, but I compartmentalize those things. You know what I mean? There's some things that happened to me that were out of my control,
Yep.
and then there were some things that happened to me that were self-inflicted. For example, the NJPs, I've had two. The two NJPs that I have, they were self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a state of mind where I was self-sabotaging, didn't care about anything and things like that. And I think the most dangerous place that you could be as a person is think you have nothing to lose. You
Yep.
have everything to lose. And that I was in that predicament. You know what I mean? I was very much in that predicament.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, another part of it was just like the idea of like thinking like, oh yeah, like you can't. I thought I was invincible from certain things until it happened to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, yeah, I would definitely say like those were some of the negative things that impacted me.
So let's go back to the thing when you were talking about being in a platoon full of people, but you're still lonely. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So a lot of you NCOs out there, if you're watching this, you know what I'm saying? I like to put it like this. Managers give orders, but leaders set the example. And what I'm saying like this, yo, nowadays in the Marine Corps, NCOs, they kind of don't have that leader aspect in them anymore. All they do is just go do this, go do that, but at the same time, you're not representing what an NCO should be. You feel what I'm saying? Or even a junior Marine in general. That's why a lot of juniors do not respect their peers, because they think, oh, I'm just trying to be better than you, or either that other junior that's giving the order, yo, bro, why should I be taking orders from you? You can't even run a first class PFT. You feel what I'm saying, bro?
Right.
So that's the thing, bro. Before you give any orders out, bro, you should make sure yourself is straight, bro. I don't care, bro. You have to set the example, set the bar, you know what I'm saying? And that gives your juniors, you know what I'm saying, something to look towards to, something to actually want to be like. Because I know me and this organization, bro, I see too many people, even officers, even staff and COs, bro. I be thinking to myself, bro, I'm finna get out because I don't want to end up like that person. But then again, without a shadow of a doubt, I've met some amazing people in this organization. Yeah, bro, like that person actually inspired me to be better every day. So yeah, I just hope y'all take that into light, bro. Be something to, you know what I'm saying? Be something that somebody else can aspire to. Be a role model to somebody instead of just trying to give a fucking order, bro. That doesn't do shit. So I don't know if you don't care about yourself or you just don't care about others, but either or, bro, that's how it goes.
Absolutely.
But with this next question, bro, how did you bounce back from your NJPs and all the negative things that happened in your life?
Well, all right. In order to talk about the bounce back, I have to talk about the NJPs within themselves.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go into too much detail.
That's
But
fine.
for the first NJP, it was a firearms violation along with a few other violations that were put in together.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was under investigation for about a month to a month and a half. I was doing random things around base. I was doing basically side missions around base. Then I finally got NJP. I got demoted from Lance Corporal to PFC.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they were gonna give me restriction, but they ended up not giving me restriction, and that's an important detail.
Yep.
So because they didn't give me restriction, like yeah, I was one rank less and things like that, but it was like, hey, like fuck it, I just got NJP'd. I didn't really care, you know what I mean? Reality didn't really set for me.
Yep.
And I believe that they did that to test me to see what I would do. And not even 2 months later, I ended up getting NJP'd again.
Mm.
You know, the second one, I was speeding on base. You know what I mean? I was speeding on base. And, you know, I think the reason I got NJP'd that second time was because, you know, even though I got NJP'd the first time, it wasn't a predicament where I was truly held accountable.
Yep.
So I brushed that first one off, and then I went and I did something else to get NJP.
Right.
Now, what made me start to turn things around was when, first of all, I was waiting to get NJP, and there was talk about me being absent.
Yep.
Higher ups, they were talking about admin stepping me and things like that. And I remember, I would say like a day or two before I got NJP, I'm sitting in my room and I'm thinking to myself, and I said, yeah, I do want to get out of the Marine Corps, because at that time I was very demotivated. I was ready to just go home. I was like, yeah, I do want to go home. I do want to get out of here, but not like this. This can't be my story. This isn't my story. So I remember when I had to write my statement for my NJP, I fought like hell to stay in.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a full-blown apology letter. I took accountability for everything that I did, not just for the 2 NJPs themselves, but going into the Marine Corps with the wrong mindset.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Going into the Marine Corps with a negative mindset. I took accountability for all of it. And yeah, I was writing to my chain of command, but I was also writing to myself as well.
Exactly.
So when I wrote that statement, I feel like that changed things for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went into my second NJP, most people, they go in there head down, slouching, dragging their feet.
Yep.
I went in there with my head held up high, my chin up. I took full accountability for everything. I looked them in the eye and I said, hey, if you are willing to give me another chance, I'm willing to meet you halfway and change. And from that point forward, I've had some hiccups after that, but it was more of like a steady incline. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I started taking a lot of things more seriously. I started taking myself a lot more seriously.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it came in stages. There's still some things that I have to work on. There's still some more maturity that I have to achieve.
Absolutely.
But I really just started going forward. And I also want to talk about the second time that I picked up Lance Corporal. Now, a lot of people, they deem Lance Corporal a given rank.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's how I saw it the first time that I got it too. I was like, hey, this is a given rank. And I didn't care. I didn't care about the fact that I was a Lance Corporal.
Facts.
But being a PFC and seeing people that came in after you get promoted to corporal
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, it was a very big reminder that I was behind. I was far behind, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And also, when I finally did pick up Lance Corporal again, it meant the world to me, because that time I actually earned it. You know what I mean? Because when you get demoted, to get back to your rank, you basically have to earn it. You quite literally do have to earn it. You gotta climb back up. And yeah, that Lance Corporal rank meant a lot to me because I had finally earned it. It was like a full circle moment. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Also, but that doesn't mean, and a lot of people, though, they would say like, hey, didn't you hate being a PFC? I actually wore the PFC ranks proudly when I got demoted, at least after the second NJP. And to explain that, I was happy to be a PFC in the Marine Corps and still be able to wear the uniform. To a lot of people, the PFC chevrons, they represented my downfall.
Mm-hmm.
But after my second NJP, those PFC chevrons, they represented a second chance.
Yep.
Because I still got to be a PFC serving in the Marine Corps, as opposed to somebody who was about to get kicked out doing dumb shit.
Exactly.
And I was happy to still be able to wear the uniform. I was grateful for it. I thank God for it to this day.
Absolutely.
And, continue to be a PFC and getting promoted again,
Mm-hmm.
it made becoming a Lance Corporal again that much better. I'm working towards becoming a corporal as well.
Yeah. So with this last question, bro, anybody out there that is facing an upcoming NJP, you know what I'm saying, or just mentally going through it in their life, trying to figure out where to get that spark of joy from, or just how to get the position that they're in, what's some things that you can just give them some game on, bro?
First and foremost, I would say prayer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reason I say prayer, and when you pray to Him, when you pray to God, don't pray that you get a lighter sentence. Don't pray that you get off easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Pray that He gives you the wisdom to do better in the future.
Absolutely.
Pray to Him that He gives you the strength to be able to improve yourself and truly turn things around.
Yeah.
And for those who like are going through things mentally, one thing that I know, because one thing that I know, it's better. You can't do a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that happens to you, you'll be all right eventually. Things will mellow out eventually. I've been in places where I've lost all my money, and it was like the hardest couple months of my life. You know what I mean? Going around with no money, having to trade rides for gas and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually it passed.
Yep.
Every bit of hardship in your life will eventually come to pass. It eventually passes.
Yep.
Makes you stronger in the end.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. And in terms of your mental health, there's always people that you could go to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say like there's always people that you could go to. And also, sometimes it's okay to be alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to be alone. I think being able to be alone with yourself is a true reflection of self-love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't always have to be in a group of people
Exactly.
to have fun.
Solitude over loneliness, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you have a car and nobody wants to hang out with you on a Saturday, cool. Go out to eat by yourself.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? Have conversations with yourself. You're not schizophrenic. You're somebody who loves yourself. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So like, yeah, sometimes it's okay to be alone. Sometimes you don't always have to supplement things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always have to supplement emptiness with temporary things.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that was like a mistake that I made. I was always trying to be up in people's faces.
Mm-hmm.
I was always trying to hang out with people. I was always trying to like chase women.
Yep.
I slept with many women, and doing all those things, it left nothing but a hole within me,
Right.
a void that can never be filled.
Mm-hmm.
And these are struggles that I still am trying to overcome. But I could definitely tell you that that's the knowledge that I've gained having experienced it.
Absolutely, bro. That's amazing, man. Hey, man, I just want to say, bro, I thank you for coming over here, you know what I'm saying, having the courage to actually get on here and talk to people, give people game, inspire them, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people in this world, they don't even have the courage to open up their freaking mouth, you feel what I'm saying, bro?
Absolutely.
So, man, I just appreciate you, bro. Hope your career just keep going up, bro.
Yours as well. You got a very promising career.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm glad that I have made the mistakes so that the younger generation like you doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And I hope that you guys take my story
Yeah.
and don't make the same mistakes.
Absolutely.
You know, I think every generation of the Marine Corps should always strive to be better than the last.
Exactly.
Learn from the people who made the mistakes and, go forward.
Yep.
And, I just wanted to end it on this. Being a shitbag, being somebody who doesn't care, it's not cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cute. You put your best foot forward at all times. And not just in the Marine Corps, but in life. Always put your best foot forward.
Yeah. Hey, man, I just thank y'all for watching, man, and just know what this is a mindset, man. What the Jerry out.
Yeah.